Boston.
Man.
Boston. One of the greatest albums in the history of classic rock.
I gotta tell you, man, when you're right, you're right. I finally downloaded, I bought it today, and man, I listened through it twice today.
Start to finish.
I forgot about all of these songs.
I told you.
That is one of my favorite songs ever made, dude. That is like the mantra to my life, dude. That is, anybody out there who's just like in the grind, just listen to that song, man. That is.
I wasn't kidding. Every single song is a radio hit. More Than a Feeling. Peace of Mind.
It starts with More Than a Feeling.
Yes!
And then goes into Peace of Mind, dude.
Yes, dude. Come
Ends
on.
with Let Me Take You Home Tonight.
What a classic,
dude.
man. Yes, dude.
In the middle there, you got Smokin'. Dude, it's only 8 songs.
Hitch a Ride, Rock and Roll Band, dude. It's one of the greatest albums of
Rock
all
and Roll
time,
Band,
man.
dude. Yo, it's like $9. Buy it. You won't regret it if you like rock. Man, Boston.
I have an original
one of the
print
most underrated band, dude. You were right.
So I'm gonna say this second album not very good, and this not as good, and this Boston was kind of like a pet project between two guys, and they put together this demo, and for the most part, it's one or a guy and another dude wrote the whole album. It's just a genius piece of work, and
they kind of all flow. It just feels like one song.
Yes,
honestly.
it is just like an operatic masterpiece in the rock universe, and it's just such a perfect album. I have an original print purchased from the Rolling Stone in Chicago of Boston on vinyl from the Uncle Garlito back home.
I bet it sounds amazing on vinyl.
It is, well, from 1975, so it's a little crispy. It's got that crispy, the crackle.
Yeah, the crackles, man. That's what does it.
It sounds still beautiful, and it's just such a great album, man. It's one of my all-time favorites. Again, start to finish. One of the few. It's up there with Dark Side of the Moon. There's just...
Oh, yeah, no, it had me thinking, like, when was the last album that came out that I could just rock through the whole thing?
Every song, man. Like, the words to every song. You could sing the solos.
I literally looked at that
song,
list, dude. I was like, oh, More Than a Feeling. And then the rest of them, I'm like, Frank, what the fuck? I never heard any of these songs. Like, oh, Rock and Roll Band? I got, all right. No, dude, that fucking those songs, you'll remember them.
All
fucking
of them.
rocker.
Top 10 hits, man. I'm telling you right now. Just what a fantastic album. Back then, though, you had to make like a good album. Like start to finish, it had to be something rocking or entertaining, dude. Now, like, I don't know. I mean, Taylor Swift.
What it is, man? It's like that album. You feel it's like when you go to work and you got a guy that's working and you can just tell he loves what he does, he takes pride in what he does, and he does a good job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And then next to him is the guy who doesn't want to be there, he's just collecting a paycheck. It feels like the artists of today are just collecting their paychecks.
Yes. For sure.
Right? Like I feel like Boston, like even if they weren't making money, they would have made Boston. Well,
yeah. Did you read into the album at all?
I'm a plumber. I don't read, man. Come on.
They essentially recorded the demo and they brought it to Epic Records and they agreed to like have them re-recorded at their studio, and these dudes refused and did all this stuff, and they basically just self-recorded this album, and like,
yeah, wow,
just dude, this is like old school as back in the day, man. Like,
yes.
I don't know. Bands just they put out stuff that they were like crafting in their minds and then, mind melding together and creating something beautiful together. And like, that's just like, are we getting that action now? It doesn't feel like it, man. Maybe that's why nobody cares about the writer's strike and the actor's strike. You forgot. You always forget. But nobody really cares because what creative geniuses are we losing right now? None.
Yeah, good call.
Nothing good out there. Like, if the musicians right now, if musicians of America or, whatever, in pop world, like, if the Taylor Swifts and everyone were like, we're not making any music, we're going on strike, like, maybe that's better. Maybe we'd have a bunch of garage bands finally come out of nowhere and write some real music, like, from the heart. from the soul.
Get some Louis.
Maybe we can live in a world again where someone like Quentin Tarantino can throw together an indie flick.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just, the movies suck, the music sucks. It all sounds like it's written by AI. I don't know. We need some more Boston in this world.
Did you see that, like, Disney Marvel 5-stage plan?
Well, I read today that Igor, what's the, Bob Igor? He's like the CEO of Disney, apparently came out and said that they're cutting back and scaling down a lot of the Disney Plus stuff, and they're going to pull back on the Marvel content. And, it sounds like they have been dropping some big stinkers lately, and they're not making as much money as they thought they would.
Did you see, like, their whole plan?
No, I didn't actually.
Yo, dude, you gotta look this up. It's fucking amazing. Anybody who hasn't seen it. So, like, they laid this out years ago. You know how we keep saying, like, this is all a new thing? Matt Damon did his whole thing where he was like, well, Netflix and streaming, it really cut into the revenue, and we can't do that.
That's right.
Can't sell as many theaters, and the DVD sales. And bro, bullshit. All of it, dude, they had this, like, 5-phase plan. We're like, okay, phase 1, you're gonna do Captain America, you're gonna do Thor, and you're gonna do the first Avengers movie, and then phase 2, that's when we're gonna bring in Loki.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Sure,
and then we're gonna go, and they had this whole
when
thing.
The
and we are now in stage 5. So
is that really where we're at? Wow, man!
So
I think I missed 3 stages, dude.
Yeah, no, that's what. So if it feels like we've been watching the same movies, it's because we have. This has been a plan forever. Look, this is what Disney is coming out with this year and next year. You have Loki season 2.
All right.
You have the Marvels.
All right.
Daredevil Born Again.
Who?
Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
Captain America Brave New World.
What?
Blade is coming back with a movie in 2025. Like, dude, this is all part of the plan. There's still going to be another Avengers, I think.
Oh man. So they're geared up for quite a few flicks over the next few years, and then I imagine some of those are going to be television shows on the Disney Plus. I assume maybe they're into that. Are they making money? I don't
know. Dude, did you hear about Ironheart?
Who?
Oh my god, Frank, I can't believe you didn't hear about this, because this is everything you talked about.
Oh my, yes. I can't wait.
Okay. The actor's name is Dominique Thorne. So you go ahead and guess the race on that one.
I'm going to leave it. I'm going to let it hang, and we'll all guess together in silence. Keep
she's a good Irish girl.
Keep it on the level.
A young genius.
All right.
This little girl, little black girl.
Yeah.
Young genius.
Box check.
Who in the comics made her own version of the Iron Man suit.
That's right.
She's now got her own series on Disney Plus.
Didn't this chick appear in the Black Panther 2 movie that came out?
Black Panther, you nailed it! So you did watch the movie.
I saw a bit of it. I did not complete it. I think I turned it on and then I couldn't go on. It's too sad. I was heartbroken.
Yeah, it was
Chadwick.
I totally forgot about that guy. Oh, and they're coming back with a new Hulk, too. That's part of 5.
They've replaced the Hulk 3 times, but then Chadwick Boseman dies, and they're like, no, we can't replace that actor. Like,
good call.
Like, they also replaced the other black dude, the guy who plays War Machine. He was originally one guy in the first Iron Man, and then he was Don Cheadle. Actually, Don Cheadle, though, Mike. You're going to love that.
Mel Brooks gave him some time off? Crazy.
Yeah, man. It's so crazy. Like, they've replaced so many actors, and they might as well at this point phase 10 just redo all the previous movies just with new actors. Nobody will care. They're redoing Harry Potter next year.
No.
Yeah, they're making it a series. They're recasting. It's all this whole new thing. They're just going to redo the whole shebang.
How?
What do you mean? It's like every 10 years they reboot. We've been going through this for the last 20 years, man. Come on, dude.
I know. If I see Spider-Man get bit by the spider one more time.
Oh,
Jesus
of course
Christ.
it's coming. You know it.
Come on, guys.
Yes, they're going to reboot Spider-Man, of course. Well, no,
they're
maybe
even
not.
They're even talking about like they're gonna bring Iron Man back. Dude, I didn't even know he died.
Yeah, he died, so he will. A spoiler alert for anyone out there.
Apparently, he's coming back because it's like a multiverse thing where they're gonna travel through time.
They're gonna do that with it's
Dude,
just it's too much.
Come on, guys, come on now.
Well, now Disney they acquired the rights to the X-Men. That's why you just listed off the Deadpool with Wolverine movie.
Do you know what movie I sat down and watched the other day?
I'm excited.
Old Country for No Men.
Wow.
Damn, can we come out with a movie like that?
Oh, that's what we've been talking about, man. Yeah, absolutely.
They don't even talk.
That's right. There's like no dialogue in that whole movie.
Woody Harrelson has the most dialogue. He says 5 words at the end of the movie before he gets shot. It's insane.
Spoiler alert. Oh, yeah.
The movie came out 20 years ago.
Well, you gotta throw it out there.
Great fucking movie, dude. That guy is insane.
You're talking about Javier Bardem.
Javier, yeah.
He plays...
what a good actor, dude.
Yeah. The
that scene
bounty
when
hunter.
he's in the gas station and he makes the guy flip the coin. That is... Man, it's giving me chills just thinking about it.
Yeah, it's a sweaty scene. There's no doubt about it. It's a rough one to get through.
And then last night I watched Saving
movies.
Private Ryan.
Wow, you're getting through all the intense, long epics from the last 20 years, man.
Give me them double VHSs, you know?
Yeah, that's right. I remember the days of the double VHS, man.
Oh, I'm going to hit up Shawshank Redemption tonight. Get busy living. Get busy dying, Frank. That was Don Cheadle's best role.
See, yes, Don Cheadle's a busy man, no doubt about it. Throughout time too, like we're talking decades of work. This man's catalog, very impressive.
He must know Epstein because he's a vampire. That guy is.
Oh man, well this is wild stuff. I didn't know. I thought they were scaling back over at Disney and with the Marvel stuff. I was reading that they lost, it seems like, a lot of money recently. I read an article today about how Disney World, it was in, I think it was in CNN actually. They were talking about Disney World being completely empty and they're having issues getting people going to,
Did
to the
you
theme
see
parks.
the prices, Frank?
No, I did not actually.
Yo, you got a family of 4, just 2 kids. You're thousands of dollars a day.
Like,
just for the food and just for the hotel and to get into the park.
Yeah, I was going to say, I understand that you have to buy these passes, and then on top of it, you have to pay for everything else in the park, right?
Everything. And then from what I hear from the dads is you buy this pass for like $300. I don't know if it's really $300, but it's like
it's
just
probably more now just because your employees are being paid $20 an hour with health insurance, right? So they're jacking up the price everywhere.
And apparently, oh my god, it's $420 for the day.
That's an expensive day. Is that
Okay,
one
but you
ticket?
can-
Are we talking like the family pass? You can
No,
bring in
no,
the
no.
youngins, half price maybe.
Dude, it is $420 per person per day, but you could do a 3-day, and then we only charge you $360 per person per day.
I like how Disney, still a classic stoner, $420 on the price. Come on now. Hey, yeah, all
Dude,
right.
What is that, $1680 if you got a family of 4? You got $1,700 just for the tickets to get into the park.
Man, that is just absolutely unaffordable for everybody.
And then from what I hear from the fathers is that's just to get you into this park, and then every line is like 6 hours. So you got to buy the speedy pass.
No!
4 speedy passes, and now
no.
I forgot what he said. One guy was saying it's like you can either buy the speedy pass for the day or you got to buy it per ride. So
What
you go
this
there,
is a
you
scam.
buy you go there and you buy your spot in line.
What a scam. This is why when you have these kids, right? Hide them from anything Disney. so they don't see it, they don't get attracted to it, and then you can avoid having to take them to the theme park.
My kids are going to have Bugs Bunny on the fucking wall because we're going to goddamn Great America.
Six Flags, yeah. $30.
Yeah, I'm going to Six Flags. Fuck Disney, dude. That's insane, man.
They were saying it was so deserted that the wait time in the lines dropped from like 45 minutes to 25 minutes.
Wow. So if you could afford it, now's the time to go.
Now's the time to go. It's not popular, right? They were trying to frame it in a lot of ways, as in people aren't going there because of the political scene and Ron DeSanctimonious and, you know, all the other nonsense. But really, you know, the truth is everyone's broke. And everything else is way too expensive to go do. So you're right on the money there. We're going to take the kids to, you know, Six Flags up in Gurney, or maybe if we're a little bit richer, we're going to swing up north to Wisconsin Dells.
Oh, the Dells, man.
I bet the Dells is popping these days. Nobody's in Disney World, but everyone's probably in the Dells.
You know what's really funny is you don't realize how much of a Midwest thing that is. Because,
Wisconsin Dells,
like,
dude.
Like in the Army, I remember just being like, yo, the Wisconsin Dells. And like only people from the Midwest know the Wisconsin
What's
Dells.
the radius there? Like, I gotta probably guess, Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin,
so
Iowa,
it's
Illinois.
whoever's closer to the Dells than an ocean. Wherever that center point is between Wisconsin Dells and an ocean, that seems to be the line.
That's why Wisconsin, people don't understand this that aren't from that area, which is Wisconsin is such a wonderful place to go visit. You got all the lakes and everything, and it's just kind of you get the water, and you feel like you disappeared.
Dude, imagine a guy from California that never really left California, dude, because there's so much to do in California, you know?
That's right.
He's looking at you, and he's like, Wisconsin Dells. There's a town in Wisconsin. They just built a bunch of water slides. And go-kart tracks.
Yeah, don't forget the go-karts, man. There's stuff for adults, too, bro.
You know that shitty circus that comes to your town every year? Yeah, they built a whole town around it. It's there all year round.
The carnies just live there. It's incredible.
It's fantastic. Oh, so much meth.
Lots of horse. Oh, yeah.
Top notch, too. Most of them got all their teeth.
Oh, man. Yeah, Wisconsin Dells, it's like every motel has got that yellow tinge to it. You know,
I'm like dying to go back as an adult because I can't even imagine what it looks like from an adult's eyes.
Well,
from a kid's eyes, all you see is that fucking 3-story water slide. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't
it's
even
the greatest
notice
thing ever. Come on.
It's the greatest thing a kid's ever seen, man. If you're a kid in the Midwest, Wisconsin Dells was the highlight of your childhood. I didn't get to go to the Bahamas.
That's right, dude. Or Hawaii.
I didn't get to go down that slide. Remember that slide, dude? Everybody talked about that slide in the Bahamas. It goes into the ocean. You go to the tube. It's like, I went to fucking King Tut slide in Wisconsin Dells. All right.
Yeah, and it's a doozy. All right, it's a good time. Everybody has a good time on King Tut. All right, don't you?
It goes outside and then comes back inside.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Amazing.
No, the Dells. When I was reading through about Disney World. You know, kind of being abandoned by the fans and not, you know, again, I think it's just an affordability thing. People are broke. But all I can think is, man, places like the Dells and Six Flags must be popping, man, because same thing with like, you know, the Yankees are in town this weekend. Same time as Taylor Swift is here. It's absolute pandemonium downtown. There's no parking anywhere already. The Swifties were blocking traffic. It was absolutely ridiculous. But
you know they can't drive.
Exactly. You talking about the New Yorkers or the Swifties? We'll say
Swifties.
both. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Both.
Yeah. I'll go with that. But no, so
at least the Swifties don't yell at you while they're driving like an asshole.
That's right. They're too busy singing along. Right?
Is there anything worse than a New Yorker?
Well,
I mean,
yeah, I like some New Yorkers. You know, there's some good people out there, a few of them. I don't dig on New York too much because they prosecuted that retired Marine that nobody wants to talk about anymore for, you know, holding back that Michael Jackson impersonator. who loved to
impersonate about the guy
Michael
who
Jackson.
Violently choked that sweet innocent Michael Jackson impersonator?
That's right. He just loved to impersonate Michael Jackson. All the little boys.
Yeah, it's great. I just saw this report out of California. After decades of devoting millions and millions, almost billions of dollars to homeless, they found out, Frank, it might just be unsolvable.
Wow, I was seeing some of that also out there.
Yeah, it's just an unsolvable thing.
NPR had a piece, I think today, it was about how, 5 ways that we could, help curb homelessness or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was the NPR, where they talked about how, well, the homeless, I know you want to fix the homeless, but first, we got to go after the people building homes.
What we got to do is just make everybody homeless. Then we're all homeless and nobody's judging.
Well, first of all, why are the homes so expensive? Oh, what's that? Because everybody's getting paid 6 figures for flipping burgers?
Dude. Do you know what place the Rockies are in? Last. I'll save you. Yeah. I'll save you the suspense. They are one of the worst teams in the league. The Yankees are in town, and normal tickets that would be $12 for any other team are $70.
Wow.
It's unreal to me.
That's still pretty cheap.
Well, I'm talking nosebleed-ish, outfield. To be fair, pretty much every seat is good, there at the Rocky Stadium, but last place team, all that money for these tickets. I was seeing a ton of tickets online still for sale. I think that people are very disappointed this year that the Yankees aren't going to be giving them the big paychecks they were hoping for on these tickets. Dude, let's get back to the kids being invited to the games for dirt cheap or section off places for kids, man. I can't get over this. Baseball has just gotten so expensive, man. No, I'm telling you, the games now, I was checking out Broncos games for the opening day. Tickets are starting at $137.
Get the fuck out of here. All right. Yeah. So if you got 3 kids.
Well, I'm telling you, if you have kids, you can't even go to these events, man. What the hell's going on here? So, ultimately, I think what you're going to start seeing, I can almost guarantee you're going to see a lot of empty seats at the Yankees game this weekend. Or there's no way people are going to pay those prices. Those prices are going to drop. They have to. It's insane what they're charging for this thing. The Broncos game, I couldn't believe what I was looking at. How could a dad go to these things? Dude, I think these minor league teams are going to start selling more tickets. You have the Kane County Cougars and whatnot. I'm telling you, I think these localized small things that used to be shitty when we were growing up are going to just start getting a lot more action because that's what people can afford to go to.
Yeah, did you see the thing about the stadium seat colors?
No, dude.
Dude, pay attention. You'll notice that nowadays, a lot of these professional sports teams, they're changing the colors of their seats to the darker. So, if your team colors were blue and yellow,
yeah, man,
they were all going with the yellow because that's the bright. You want to brighten up the plays. You know what I mean? Kind of but now they're all going with the blue. They're gonna go with the darker color of the team colors because it doesn't show up on camera as well.
Wow,
it's too obvious that the stadiums aren't full.
We are 3 years away from them having little pull strings and just an inflatable fan. Just pops up.
No, I think they're gonna start doing AI fans. With the whole all these extras are selling their likenesses and everything.
What if they're already doing it?
I mean, just imagine, hey Frank, what do you got that sports package or whatever hey Frank, we'll give it to you for free for a month if we could use you in this game.
Well, there's also probably at this point, I bet you there's some tech involved with maybe, there's delays in games now, right? So in the broadcast, so they could probably overlay spots where they've noticed that there's nobody sitting and just have digital people from previous games even just cut and copied there?
I don't know, man, but if you notice, these stadiums aren't full.
No, I'm telling you, they're not. You can't afford it. That's what I'm trying to say. Taylor Swift is in town again. If you want to go downtown...
You Disney'd yourself. No, we can't go.
If you want to go downtown this weekend in Denver and have a good time, see a ball game, and take the girl out for the Yankees game, it's going to cost you $200 or $300. If you want to go to see the Taylor Swift concert down the street at Pepsi Center, it's going to cost you $2,000 or $3,000. Is this... What kind of world are we living in where this is the entertainment now? This is like
I told you, your plumbers are getting $90 an hour. That's what happens.
Well, I'm going to lay out a little secret there for everybody. 2 weeks from now, the Oakland Athletics, the absolute worst team in the league, are in town here playing the Rockies. Tickets are $6.
I don't, but Oakland,
$6.
Where's Jonah Hill? Bring this team back. Come on.
They're going to move to Las Vegas, I'm telling you. I think they already signed the deal.
Did you see that fucking thing they built in Vegas?
What are you,
like dome?
Spaceship?
The dome that, like, it turns into an eye, it turns into the moon.
Yes.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, this is all of this incredible imagery. This is just priming us for when they do the fake alien invasion, man. Nobody understands this. You see those whales they got in Saudi Arabia or the United Emirates? Have you seen that stuff? I sent the video to you, man. Yeah, it's like these AI
the 3D billboard. Yeah.
Dude, no, this shit's in the sky. They can make things happen. I was at the Dead show last week in Boulder, and they were just showing crazy stuff with drones and making images. Man, they're gonna fake an alien invasion. They're just getting us ready to be, wowed by what's happening with lights in the sky.
Maybe. We'll see. Getting kind of weird.
It's getting kind of weird out there. There's no doubt about it. And especially, if you live in Canada and you like to wear Nikes because, you may be a racist.
Tonight, mounting allegations over forced labor camps in China. 2 major global companies now under fire by Canada's...
We went from fake alien invasion to Uyghurs. I hope you guys are excited about this one. It's transition of the year.
Tonight, mounting allegations over forced labor camps in China. 2 major global companies now under fire by Canada's ethics watchdog over claims that they have benefited from labor done by Uyghurs.
I believe it's pronounced Canada Watchdogs.
Eh? Oh, sorry.
It's the watchdog.
Hey, it's for our Canadian fans out there. We love you. That's why we're playing this one. So, I just want to put this out there, I don't condone a lot of the language in this clip, and you aren't alone if you feel like you're hearing a lot of hard R's out there.
From labor done by Uyghurs, an ethnic Muslim minority that for years human rights groups say have been forced to work in factories.
I love how they always have to emphasize in the Uyghurs, Muslims in China. Muslims in China. Chinese Muslims. These are Asian Muslims.
Mike, that complicates things so much for our goldfish brains. We can't handle that kind of like.
Oh, I know. I just picture Tiger Woods. He's got to be a black Asian, right?
Don't they prefer Blasian, or am I misunderstood on that level?
I did not know there. I gotta tell you, until you guys became enslaved, I did not know there were Muslims in Asia. I thought that was like the beauty of Asia was like China, especially, that they were like so pure and like isolated.
No, Genghis Khan was banging everybody. Like, aren't we all related to Genghis Khan on some levels? The Asians, man, they were spreading that seed for like generations.
Genghis was a Muslim.
No, but I'm saying he was spreading that seed.
You can't fuck that many women if you're fucking praying 5 times a day, Frank.
I think Genghis Khan probably made his way around, banged a lot of different ladies, maybe even fellas. We don't know how they swung it that way that day. And he probably hit up a few Muslim ladies down south.
To be fair, that was like the genius of his reign, is he'd let you be whatever religion you were.
Yeah, no.
Touche.
Genghis Khan was banging all over the world, man. He was the Nick Carter of his era.
Oh, baby, I don't want you to follow my God. I just want to fuck you. I just want to kill your husband and fuck you. That's it, man. What's going on here?
Isn't there some weird genealogical connection from like pretty much everybody to Genghis Khan? Like he pretty
It's like 1 out of 16 people have a lineage.
He banged his way through the whole world. So yeah, Chinese Muslims for sure, right? It's got to happen. There must be more than we could even imagine. Probably some islands out there with some, Blasian Muslims.
All right, maybe.
I still haven't figured out if Blasian is racist. I probably shouldn't keep saying it, but we'll maybe.
Yeah, notice how I didn't repeat it.
We're gonna bleep that one in post. Production crew, you're always letting me down. Perfect.
I think you just can't say blazer.
Oh, it's blade, laser, blazer. I believe that's how it goes. And so, all right, so we're talking Uyghurs, and this is a weird story, actually.
China. A report released by the watchdog saying they received complaints by a coalition of 28 Canadian organizations alleging Nike Canada has or have had supply chain relationships with at least 6 Chinese companies identified as using or benefiting from Uyghur forced labor. Another report saying mining company Dynasty Gold's operations in the province of Xinjiang, with a population of nearly 11 million Uyghurs, did the same.
Those people.
They keep saying
that many.
They keep saying the word Uyghur a lot. You notice that? Like they really like the word Uyghur. It's kind
of a fun word to say.
Well, yeah, it's a Uyghur. Like I'm really like I feel like I'm swinging on a swing while I'm saying it. Like it feels really like joyful. These poor people. It's also it's
like if one of those words you're not supposed to say was on a swing and you were pushing it. It's not Uyghur.
Oh man, folks! I loved this clip because we're dancing a fine line.
Tiptoeing. It's tiptoeing.
And not just working those companies by their own free will.
NBC's Keir Simmons has been covering the Uyghur community for years now.
With pictures of missing loved ones, every one of these Uyghurs has a story of families torn apart.
Back in 2019, he visited what China calls re-education camps, designed to rid them of what China claims.
Guys, you need to hit up Subway. You need a rebrand. I'm sorry. I know. While you're being enslaved in Chinese prison camps is not the time, but you need to refresh. You need to refresh to be fresh, my friend. Jesus Christ!
Can we be kind and rewind here, people, and just no hold back on the Uyghur talk here? We could just soften those arms.
The guy said that so. The way he said it, I just didn't like it. I finally understood the N-word. I don't know. I was like, oh my god, yeah, I get it. It's the way you say it. You know?
Yes. There's an energy
so
there.
Much hate. These Uyghurs, whoa, buddy.
It's not like I'm trying to date your daughter, man. Like, get out of here, all right? Come on. This is so outrageous.
I only use that word when it's just me and my brother. Man. Jesus Christ. Not when the mic's on. God.
This is horrible what's happening to these people, but, man, I can't get... What's the count now? I think we're at, like, 15 Uyghurs already.
I have thought 0 times about you being enslaved. I have... This whole clip, I'm thinking about what you're calling yourselves. I'm sorry. It's just like that little country in Africa. Let me say it. Niger? Really? I mean, come on, guys. Let's go with the times.
Oh, dude, it's the new Turkey. It's Nigeri.
Uyghur.
Ratatouille. All right, so Tunberi. All right, so we're at a high count on Uyghurs here. This,
tread lightly, Frank. This is.
I just feel like they're only telling this story because they really like saying a specific word.
Famous thoughts.
The director, in a rare on-camera description, tells us they prevent terrorist thoughts from developing. We focus on changing their minds, he says.
But many Uyghurs say they are concentration camps, and the U.S. State Department says more than
a million
Uyghurs
scarier than the
have been
government being
detained
like, no, we just put them in this camp and we changed their mind.
That's right. Check in with how did Australia do during 2020? They kind of did the same thing there. They had these nice little camps. They held you in there until you proved your vaccination status or that you were free of COVID-19. And hey, coming
here, you know, they came in a Muslim, stupid, and we sent them out a Christian. Or no, whatever they are. Buddhist? What is China?
China.
What do they want them to be? Who's not enslaved in China? That's the better question.
Well, all the people are. They're all on a social credit system and digital
for sure
lifestyle. Like during COVID, a lot of people were locked out of their own homes because they weren't testing correctly.
Right, but there's got to be like here in America, we have Democrats. They're the truly free people. They do whatever they want.
That's right. They can say whatever they want.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Who are the Democrats of China that own the media, own all the, you know?
Oh, the Pooh Bears. Or I don't know.
Right,
so
right.
Whoever follows, it's probably the elitists, right? Like the oligarchs of China.
Yeah. They got to have oligarchs, right?
Yeah, that's
or
probably.
Or are they just like military leaders that?
You see here, we know nothing about China.
Nothing. I was just about to say that. Props to you, China. You do a good job of just staying out the news.
That's right. They infiltrate our society and culture through their technology and the apps and mess with us and turn us all trans and crazy and hateful and spiteful of each other and the other. And, and then meanwhile, we know nothing about what's going on there, how their culture, engages each other. I think they have a heavy class system. And, there are people that are in deep, extreme poverty, and then there are a very small percentage of people who live very lavish and fantastical lifestyles.
For sure. Absolutely, for sure. It's got to be.
And I could only presume that it's the 99% of the people there that live in poverty and slave-like conditions and work endlessly. And, kind of sounds a little bit like America, right? It's a little bit, but the Uyghurs are... in the strangest way, I guess, treated worse than the rest of the people. They are enslaved in these work camps. We've seen images of them too, right? Are these the people that are like in those open prisons where they're just baking in the sun and sitting there, right?
I think they're just like mining cobalt.
I think you're right. Yeah, they're making our iPhones. So
they're getting the rare earth metals that we need.
That's right, folks. Dude Man Podcast brought to you by the Uyghurs, and we thank you for listening.
17, and the Department of Labor estimates that of those, nearly 100,000 may be working in forced labor conditions.
They are forced to work just like a robot. They are not allowed to speak with their own native language. They are not allowed to practice any religious duties.
Both Nike and Dynasty Gold did not return NBC's request for comment on the allegations regarding
forced labor. See, and this is where the Democrats of America have ruined it. Because I hear that, and I'm thinking, okay, do they not let you practice any cultural or religious practices? Or do they not want you taking 5 breaks a day to pray for 15 minutes? Because as a boss, you know...
time is money, people. Let us not forget.
And it's not only that. I don't care what you're doing during that time. The minute all the employees see you taking 5 breaks, they want 5 breaks.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
It's only fair. Well, I don't pray, but I should be able to go smoke.
This is true. I was never one to take smoke breaks, really, unless when I was, a smoking guy. But typically, I don't know. I don't really encounter I'm going to take this break because of that break. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that really a thing in our world these days
thing,
where
yes,
people are like comparing break times and...
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like,
if you want to have unions so that they can negotiate your 15-minute fucking break. I get 1:15 before, 1:15 after, and I get my 30 in between. It's like insane, people.
Oh, yeah. I remember taking over a position, and the guy said, "This is where I take my 10-minute break." And I was like, what? What are you talking about? I work till lunch. I take a lunch, and then I work till I go home. That's what I do. Like
a lot of times I don't even take lunch.
No. I didn't have a lunch today. You gotta sometimes just work and hustle, man. Like who
hustle?
Who lives their life by these set time frames? Like if you're doing that to yourself, you're enslaving yourself to the system.
You know what's really interesting about like living with your grandma is just the insight of like an elder, you know?
Oh yeah.
And we were watching the news, eating dinner the other day, and they were talking about how like I forgot what they called it. You know, they always come up with like these cutesy terms, and it was like teenage retirement or something. And it's like this.
Wait. Teenage retirement
or 20s retire. I forgot what they called it, but it was like this thing where like these young, so you're in your like 19, you're like early 20s, and you just decide you're not really working, and you're not really going to school. They're kind of just like enjoying this life, right? So it's kind of like they're retired before they go into the workforce. You know what I mean? You know how they always try to like cutesy it up.
Yeah.
Really, you're just a lazy piece of shit who needs to grow up and go to work. But according to like NPR, you know.
Yeah, man.
But anyways, and then their whole spin on it was, instead of like going and just spending those years like working the shitty job at like Starbucks or whatever, they're gaining life lessons. And I don't remember, but I just remember Nona's take on it was, you can never get that time back. You can never get your body back to where it was. If you don't hustle when you're young, you'll never be able to hustle later on.
Wow. Sage advice. Absolutely.
And so if you just give that up when you're young, that's it. You'll never catch up. You'll never catch up. And I was like, wow, you know. I talk about all the time where like I'm kind of in a bad spot. I'm 35. I'm this and that, but it's like, as much as I wasted my time, I did accumulate skills and knowledge and experience that is now opened doors that I never dreamed would be open, you know?
Yeah, definitely, but it's just possible some people need mental health first aid, man. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. But she was more saying, like, what she's saying is true, is like, when you're 19, you're living at home, dude, that's when you go be the apprentice for $18 an hour, and you're busting your ass, and dude, you're paying the dues. You know what I mean? It's gonna be really hard when you're 35 and you're trying to pay those dues. It's almost impossible. You know?
Need to build that strength, the muscle of endurance, you know.
But not only that, dude, when you're 35, you're a first year apprentice just like the 19-year-old, but there's so much more expected out of you.
But
right, like
our teens,
that
man.
19-year-old gets to be a 19-year-old kid and learn how to be a plumber. You know, it's like, that's that time you do it. Whereas the 35-year-olds, you know, I'm lucky because I don't have kids, but the other guys, they got a wife, they got kids, and they're getting the shitty pay, and they're trying to pay their dues. You know what I mean? It's like, when you're 35, whether you want it or not, there's so much more expectation. You have so much more responsibility. By the time you hit that 35, you should be well beyond that phase.
No, the modern age doesn't live that way, man. They're weak. They can't handle it.
That's the problem, dude. If you're retiring at 19, what? You're fucked. You're fucked.
Then dude, this has been on the docket for a while. I think you're gonna really like this.
I can't wait. First aid mental health?
Yes, dude. I'm telling you, it's right on with what you're talking about. Kids retiring at 19, my God, then this all makes sense to me.
And now we're going to go to a recent CDC...
Oh, Fred, I buckled my seatbelt. Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, folks. We got G-force winds. There's going to be
the tornadoes were over. Holy shit. One just touched out in Norwich.
Crazy turbulence. There's no doubt about it.
Ooh, Michael.
Report finding that 1/3 of high school students are experiencing poor mental health. One school in Iowa started a program to give kids the coping skills they need, hoping to prevent those issues before they begin. Belinda Shea is a high school counselor at Alta Aurelia in Alta, Iowa, which consists of approximately 200.
Yeah, they gave Michael Strahan his own news segment, dude.
Who wrote approximately in Michael Strahan's prompter?
You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this whole thing, dude.
I told you it's 3 syllables or less. We can only do one S. One S, people.
Students.
The teen mental health program is designed to help teens respond appropriately to their peers. So we thought that would be a great thing for us to implement into our health program. I think it gives them a way to talk about mental health, hopefully take away some of that stigma that we hear or that we know about mental health.
The program assists teens by providing them with an action plan, first by identifying the challenges they're experiencing, then in discovering the tools.
Can we get an action plan for Michael? He needs to learn English. He needs to learn English. Let's get an action plan.
A graduating senior at Alta Aurelia High School.
God damn.
Mason says
first action, fix those teeth.
Difference in his life.
And during the mental health first aid program, we were thinking about, negative thoughts, positive thoughts, and how.
Yeah, listen here, kid. You don't know this, but you're gay. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna love college. Next.
I noticed myself.
Actually, as a matter of fact, as you on your way out the door, just go ahead and pass that info along to every other fag in line, and my schedule just cleared up. I just solved all their problems. All right.
A negative thought. I noticed myself worrying less about uncertainty in my life.
Sophomore Lily Schillenberg says the program has made her more confident.
Who wrote this?
They're just fucking with Michael now.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, they literally picked a student named Shelly Schellenberg. Did you catch that shit? Dude, this is a fucking...
Did you hear the name of the school? Olivet, Vermont? Like, what the fuck?
Who did this to this poor guy?
Uncertainty in my life.
Sophomore Lily Schillenberg says the program has made her more confident in talking about mental health.
During the class, we were told, if you
how many times did they record this? This is the best editing I've ever seen in my life. Holy shit. I feel bad for the post on this crew. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. That's actually what ignited the writer's strike. They had to...
they weren't paid the overtime.
Working too much overtime, dude.
You know what? After seeing this, pay him more. Pay him more.
These poor guys.
What really stuck out to me is it's okay to not be okay.
And the Iowa school says it's seen a positive change in the family conversations that are taking
Iowa
place.
School says the city. Holy shit!
Are definitely happy that we're discussing some of these things and we're having these open conversations. The huge part of this program is not only examining or discovering some of the mental health challenges that we have, but talking so very much about the supports that are available and how people can feel better when they experience some of these challenges.
All right. First of all, we are a weak society. First aid for mental health.
So terrible.
I knew that would get lost in this madness. Dude, Michael Strahan got played by his staff right there. That script, I think there was an S in every single word, dude.
At least one. Every syllable.
So boring. I can't believe at first I was like, wow, they gave Michael Strahan a clip. We've clipped a lot of GMA. He leads in, never does the full thing. Dude, they did him dirty.
And the school staff says that Shelly Schellenberg. What the fuck?
Sophomore Shelly Schellenberg? Are you kidding me? Dude, that's not a real person. That's a totally fake name. They messed with him on this one. I think all the video is probably CGI on that. Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
That's why they had him read it, so that nobody would listen. Because the actual story is insane. We really... Dude, I just remember being a 16-year-old kid and adults looking at me and being like, "You're 16. What could possibly be depressed about?"
You'll figure it out. Life will play itself out. You're so young, it's jeez, man.
We need to be toughened up, man. We need to toughen these kids up. Man. Stop listening to them. Stop telling them to express their feelings and talk about it. And just deal with it.
I don't know. There's something going on, man. When I was 16, I wanted to work so I could earn enough cash to get the car, so I could have enough cash to also pay, for gas for the car, and then eventually, hopefully, I'd meet a girl who'd like me because I had the car, and then maybe someday I'd get laid. That was that's the whole thing, isn't it? I don't know. What happened to that?
Yeah, but the girls don't even like you because you got the car. They like you because of what the car says. says this is a guy who is maturing. You know, when you're 16 and you actually went and got your license, you actually went and got a car. Like, that's, you know?
Maybe if these dudes were more focused on, doing stuff and earning money and playing sports and, I don't know. Everyone got so weak and soft. And, hey, look, this could be a result of the Me Too movement now, right? We have this new generation of young fellas. They're in their teens. They have zero ability or, and there's no lessons being taught to them on how to approach women because their fathers, everything they knew about approaching women now is considered, inappropriate.
Half of them, their father got a tit job and now is a woman.
That's right, dude. They're a Tucker. That's right. Wow. Yeah, you might be right about that, actually. That's kind of freaky. Yeah, dude.
It's insane to think that, like, the crazy people we knew and still know, like, they're raising kids. It's insane.
I don't know,
they still think the way they, I don't know.
Get the kids back in sports or something.
Did you see that picture I sent you of the bubble?
The bubble.
Dude, I was working at a school and I had to go into this, like, back room.
The COVID bubble, man. Yeah.
I had to go into this back room and it literally startled me. Because I, like, go into this storage room and there's this, like, it's a PVC framed cube wrapped in plastic, in, like, a thick plastic.
Yes.
With silver air ducts going, like aluminum air ducts tied in, and it's hooked up to a HEPA filter, and there's 2 desks with chairs inside it.
Wow.
That cube, they put like 10 of them in a classroom. So 2 kids would literally walk into the classroom, go into this little cube, zipper themselves down the HEPA filter would be turned on. Then after all the kids were in these little bubbles with HEPA filters, then the teacher would walk in the room.
Wow.
I guess they tried it out for a little bit of time. That was what the teacher union wanted every school in Chicago to do before the teachers came back to class, class learning.
That is the new normal that they wanted.
Imagine if that actually went through, man. Did you see how creepy that thing looked?
It looked like a medieval torture device.
It literally, like when George Costanza chokes the bubble boy.
Yes, it's very similar.
That was literally like, dude.
Something more, honestly, more creepy and torturistic about it. Maybe because the plastic had been removed on some level, it looked like.
No, it was all there.
It was all there. Wow, that thing was a freaky little torture chamber, man. That's not good for little people to be in. That psychologically, that's just horrifying.
And have you ever heard a HEPA filter?
I heard about them during the pandemic. I remember.
Have you ever heard one going?
No.
Dude, these kids would have heard nothing but.
That's so funny. Like Darth Vader.
And then you got 2 kids sitting in this fucking bubble all day. Like, come on, man.
Well, dude, if you want to understand the retardation of 2020 and 2021 especially, it was I'm going to walk in with the mask, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to remove the mask because I'm sitting at this level, I'm eating. No mask is safe, but now I'm going to stand up, put on the mask. We were retarded, cheap, and we were almost led to our demise. Maybe we were with those poison shots. We will never know. But man, what a stupid time we went through. And good call, that bubble. That thing, I hope it survives the test of time, so future generations can see the folly of our era.
They'll dig it up and be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yes. Oh, my dear son, this is what they tortured children in the 20th.
I should have carved a hieroglyph on the wall.
Yeah, you should have put a little Nazi symbol in there. Just a little swastika.
I was watching this like Egypt thing the other day, and I just thought about it. Like, we did it with that. We launched a couple satellites. We sent them outside of our. I think they're outside the solar system now.
The Voyagers.
Yeah, and they're just going out. And what did we do? We put symbols on them that we felt could be deciphered by anybody. Right.
That's right, man.
And then I was thinking about, like, what if that's what's like on these pyramids? What if it was like they dumbed it down as much as they possibly could, and we still can't get it.
Yes, because
there's literally like a picture of 100 guys pulling a rope with a giant cube at the end of that rope. It's like, maybe that is just how they built the pyramids. They even drew it for you.